Hey guys, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're going to dress up our Airbnb's bedroom with awesome temporary wallpaper. Okay, so the temporary wallpaper we're using is called Tempaper, and their website is full of gorgeous designs to choose from, and I love the one that we ended up deciding on. You can order samples that you can then, spend days drooling over and deciding what you actually want to use.
If you're into that sort of thing.
Okay, so let's talk about prep.
Yep. So one thing to remember when prepping the walls is you're going to want to use a semi-gloss or satin finish paint so that when you go to remove it years down the road, or months down the road, or days down the road, that you're able to take it off easily, which is one of the things that we like most about this product.
Yeah, especially so if you're a renter. I mean, this is great because during the life of your time in your rental, you can make it your own and then take it down when you're ready to go. And you can't use it again, but at least, you make your house a home, which is what we're all about.
Yeah, and if you won't have to paint the walls again is the point, which is really nice.
Yeah. So if your walls are currently a flat or matte finish, you can tell because it doesn't have any sheen to it. You're going to want to paint it with a satin or semi-gloss, and then you're going to want to let it cure for at least 2 weeks. If you don't let it cure, that paint's going to come off with the wallpaper when you go to remove it. And the second thing you want to look out for is to make sure your walls aren't textured. And if they are textured, you're going to have to scrape them down a little bit and do a skim coat and then prime and then paint with a semi-gloss or a satin paint, which we know that process pretty well.
Yep.
So you want to make sure you have a smooth wall. As you can see behind us, we are missing some trim casing around the door. We also haven't put the baseboards up yet because we're prepping this Airbnb for
Airbnb
for business. And we thought we'd wait to put all the trim on until we get the wallpaper up. So we actually had that thought mid door casing, but you get the idea. If your casings and molding are already up, you'll see this is super easy. You can just take an X-Acto knife or a utility knife and cut around it. We're going to have to do that on the side of the door casings here, but when we go to do the baseboards, we can just go all the way to the floor and then put the baseboards right up against it with a seamless finish. So that's cool too. So we can kind of show you both ways.
Yep.
All right. So
we should probably get started.
We should probably stop talking and get started.
I like it.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have the product open and it's so pretty. You will find the instructions on the back of the label that wraps around the roll. It's also on Tempaper's website. They have an awesome video and also text instructions, so you won't be lost. So what's our plan for getting to the wall?
Well, let's get all the tools that we need first. And
right.
We also need a cutting surface. So
right.
We're going to want a squeegee and or in our case, a drywall knife.
We do not have a squeegee. So yeah, we have a really clean drywall white knife. There's nothing on it to rip the paper with. Make sure it's nice and smooth.
We're going to need a box cutter or X-Acto knife.
Got it.
And we're going to need a metal ruler that's going to span the length of the roll so we can cut straight lines.
Right. And then we'll also need a measuring tape so that we can measure the wall, yep. which is pretty easy. So we're going to measure the width and the height. And then you want to make sure that the design on the paper, when you go from panel to panel, lines up. So it's best to pre-cut all of your panels, right?
Yep. So once you get your dimensions, you can go to another bedroom or a place that you have adequate space to lay out these large panels.
Yeah.
And then once they're in order, you can start.
Yeah. So the width of our walls is 12 feet and the width of our Tempaper is 27 inches. So we estimate that we'll need about 6 panels?
Yeah, we'll have to cut down the 6th panel, but...
Yeah, we'll have to cut down the 6th panel. And then they're gonna be 91 inches in height. So we make sure they're 91 inches long. So we're gonna pre-cut 6 panels at 91 inches long.
Well, we might go a little bit shorter than that because we don't need to go all the way to the floor. Just an inch or two below the baseboard.
Baseboards are gonna go. All right, so we pre-cut all the panels.
We pre-cut them all.
And now we're ready to hang. So what should we do before we start hanging?
Well, we got to draw a center line.
Right.
Which is very important.
For the first piece, just to make sure that the first piece lines up straight.
It's going to help you alleviate a lot of headaches with your other pieces and make it easier for all the other pieces to line up with each other.
And then I saw you measuring the wall. You want to see where each panel is going to fall, just so you know.
Right. So I wanted, since the doorway is a little bit thicker than a panel, I don't want a seam too close to the doorway, so I want to have a seam above the doorway.
Yeah.
Just kind of minimize the seams and keep it uniform as much as possible.
And then according to Tempaper's website, they say you want to overlap your seams just a little bit because some houses will move, and so then you don't want your wallpaper to kind of separate with time. So just overlap just ever so slightly.
Yep. And then we want to take the cover off of our outlet.
Yeah. You can take the cover off. That way when you put the wallpaper down, you cut around the actual outlet, and then the faceplate will cover all the seams. Okay, so you want to go do that? We'll draw our straight line, and then we'll get to hang.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's try this.
Wait, can I take a nap first?
No. Before we got started, we used a drywall knife to clear any imperfections from the wall. To get the paper started, it's as easy as separating the decorative part from the backing.
So our outlet is right behind here, so I'm just going to cut around it carefully with a razor knife. Not too big because we want the plate to cover it afterwards, but yeah, let's give it a shot here. Just a reminder, when you add another panel to the wall, make sure the seams are slightly overlapping. This will help with any gaps should your walls or house move. Using his drywall knife in combination with his utility knife really helped him get a precise cut against our door casings. We put up Tempaper Wallpaper up in a day, and this Airbnb is completely transformed. Yeah, I would definitely suggest you have 2 people on this project.
For sure.
And also, we were using a credit card to smooth the paper, but I would go ahead and invest in the Tempaper Squeegee.
But yeah, that would have been helpful.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was super simple and a great quality product. It's gonna look great for years and years to come. We already have Airbnb guests who are like, this bedroom is epic. So that's the reaction we want.
Yeah, low cost, high impact.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, so.
If you like this video, please click that thumbs up. And of course, if you subscribe to our channel, you're gonna get are we doing videos weekly now? Ish,
as long as I can, like, wake you up from a nap.
Right, because I'm really lazy. And that will give you an email communication and let you know when our next video comes out.
Yeah, so next week we'll have another video for you about something about handyman work, design, organizing, Airbnb, something fun.
Maybe all of the above.
That would be too much.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Nick.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
We did it! We put up
Nope. Let's try that again.
Okay. Okay.